Hello and welcome to NLP Metaprograms episode 2. Today I'm going to be starting to talk about the basic metaprograms, and the first basic metaprogram is external behavior. Now, the basic metaprograms are similar to the Myers-Briggs indicators. They're similar and they're different. So let's talk about why they're similar for a start. They are similar because they come from the same body of knowledge, which is Carl Jung's archetypes. So they have the same labels. You've got external behavior, internal process, internal state, and then the adaptive response. Whereas with Myers-Briggs profile, type indicator profile, we would ask a person around about 25 different questions for each of the 4 indicators. With the metaprograms, we ask just one question. Now, is Myers-Briggs type indicator more precise than metaprograms profiling? Yeah, it probably is. My question, though, is there really a value between knowing something like a person is a 36 extrovert compared to a 25? I don't think so, really. So the metaprograms profile is a lot quicker, it's less precise, it's a lot quicker and dirtier, if you like. But it's going to let you know whether somebody's more extrovert, whether somebody's more introvert, or whether they're balanced, or what we call in the Myers-Briggs type indicator, we'd have it as an X, which is either 10 either side or 15 either side, depending on the one that you're looking at. The other benefit of metaprograms is that you don't need a computer to score it. And also you can do the elicitation completely conversationally, which I think has some major value, some major benefits. So there are 4 basic metaprograms. I'm going to be taking you through those over the next 4 episodes. And the first one is external behavior. As I mentioned before, whether the person is more extrovert in their behavior or whether somebody's more introvert. Now, the way the metaprogram elicitation questions work is they work by taking somebody to an extreme. So this is really important. We take somebody to an extreme situation, ask them a question about that extreme situation, which then enables us to get an idea as to what their external behavior is. Now, each of the 4 basic metaprograms are what we would call analog, in that they are a sliding scale rather than binary, as in on or off. So a person isn't either extrovert or introverted. There's a sliding scale from introvert to extrovert, with balanced being in the middle. All 4 basic metaprograms are like that. There are other metaprograms in the complex metaprograms which are binary. There's 2 options. There's also metaprograms which have 3, 4, or 5 possible options, but we'll get there over the coming weeks. So the basic ones are all analog. Think of them as being a slider. You know, remember those sliding controls on the old 1980s and 1990s hi-fis? That's what it is. And with a metaprograms profiling, what we have is we take somebody to an extreme example in this particular situation, and we ask them a question about that. Then it's down to our own judgment as to where somebody is on that sliding scale. And I'm going to give you some of my insights into that as to how I do it. So the premise of the question is that when someone is really, really tired, really exhausted, they're completely run out, batteries depleted, the introvert will need, not only prefer, but need to go off by themselves, possibly just a high introvert will be just completely by themselves to recharge their batteries. Somebody who's lesser of an introvert will be able to be around a small group of people, but people that they feel very comfortable around, maybe their partner, maybe their kids, very, very close friends. Whereas the other extreme of the scale is with an extrovert when they are tired, when they are really run out, when they are exhausted, they want to go out and party. They feed off of other people's energy. They want a lot of other people around them, and that's the way that they recharge. So the question that we ask somebody is this. When you're really tired, when you're really exhausted, when your energy batteries are really completely drained, do you prefer to be by yourself only, or do you prefer to be around lots of other people? The important thing is there that we take them out to an extreme situation. So we really want them to remember a time in the past when they were really, really tired. And this is where your NLP calibration skills come in as to whether they're actually accessing a time like that. So that they're in that current state of energy depletion. So that then when we ask them that question, do you prefer to be by yourself only, or do you prefer to be out with other people, they will find it easy to answer the question. So some people will go, oh no, definitely on my own and just myself. I mean, it's just to close the door, draw the curtains and just hibernate. Whereas the extrovert very, very definitely will be, no, let's go out party. I really want to get some energy around me, be surrounded by energetic people. So those extremes are quite simple. Now, here's what we then need to do from a subjective point of view. There are some people that will say, well, it depends. So with any of the Metaprogram questions, it's okay and in sometimes absolutely vital that you ask further questions if you're not sure whereabouts on the Metaprogram scale that they are. So if somebody says, well, it depends, I'd say, well, depends on what? Tell me about it. So, sometimes people will go, well, sometimes I prefer to be by myself, and sometimes I prefer to be out with other people. That would be an example of somebody who is balanced. They're in the middle and they have the flexibility of moving either side of that equation. You might have other people who go, well, not really totally by myself, but, I'm okay with the family around me. I'm okay with a small group of friends, those kind of things for recharging. Then, they're not the extreme of introvert, but they're kind of like halfway between the midpoint and introvert. Other people might say, well, yeah, but not like a real going to a rock concert or a nightclub or anything like that. I like to be out with a group of people. I kind of like get energy from them, but, not the... So essentially they're saying the same thing. They're not the real out of the extreme extrovert. They're somewhere in between the balanced and midway. So that's the kind of way that we would find out whereabouts on this external behavior scale that they are. That then gives us some ideas as to how they're going to behave in certain situations. Now, here's an important piece here. A lot of people, for instance, would make the mistake that I'm high extrovert, because I do what a lot of people would mind read and consider to be a highly extrovert job, highly extrovert behavior. I'm presenting probably around about 150, 200 days a year in varying size groups, including thousands or more. And when I'm doing that, I love it and I'm feeding off the group. And I'm in a real flow with that. I really love it. I enjoy that kind of thing. So a lot of people go, David's an extrovert. I'm not an extrovert. If anything, I'm probably balanced, but probably more over to the introvert side. Because when I think of times when I'm really, really, really exhausted, really tired, or, for instance, maybe tired because I'm not physically well, then, I'm at home. I don't talk to anybody. I'm okay with very, very, very close friends. But I don't talk to anybody. I just close the door and I draw the curtains and I shut down and I recharge and rebuild myself. So, introvert. I'm an introvert, even though I do what some people would consider to be extrovert things. It's equally possible for you to have somebody who's an extrovert, but equally, because of maybe some beliefs that they have, demonstrating behavior of being quite shy. So this is why we've got to really ask this question rather than mind reading where somebody is. Now then, once we know this about someone, then we can kind of predict their behavior in that situation. So if we didn't know, and somebody just went away and ran and hid away literally at home, we might think there's something seriously wrong with them. We might think they're being rude. We might think they're being unfriendly, whatever it is. No, they're just running their introvert metaprogram. You might also have somebody who tells you how exhausted they are, how tired they are, and then the next minute you find out that the night before they went out and partied. And you're going, well, what's this all about? They told me, like before they left work yesterday, that they were really exhausted and really tired. So I let them off. I let them go home early. Then I find out they've been partying. They're lying to me. No, they're an extrovert on this scale, which means when they're tired, when they're exhausted, they go and get energy off of other people. Okay? So what the metaprograms enable us to do, and this is just obviously the first one, what the metaprograms enable us to do is to be able to more accurately predict how a person will behave in certain situations and circumstances, how they'll respond to information given to them in certain situations and circumstances. But also, of course, a lot of this, although we're exploring the metaprograms for other people, you're going to be doing self-exploration. So you're going to get some more insights into why you do what you do, why you find certain things easy, why you find certain things difficult. Anyway, I hope that's been useful. I know just a short one. Some of these metaprograms are very simple. They're quite short. Some of them are going to be more lengthy. So this is quite a short one this week. Hope that's been of value for you, and I will see you next week, episode 3, when we will be looking at the second basic metaprogram, which is internal process. Have a great week, and I'll see you again.